All right, so next up here at the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center, I will be speaking to a local hip-hop artist who has a ton of local acclaim, a lot of national acclaim as well. He is an educator as well. He is going to be doing a really cool hip-hop course at Rhode Island College this fall. I can't wait to talk to him. So let's welcome my next guest, Harry John Hope Grigsby. What's up, Harry?
What's up?
Hugs for everyone.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. This is you.
You got taller. I think you got taller.
You think so? What's up? What's up? Where am I looking?
He's so tall.
I know.
Right here?
Why did I not
Hey, this is
realize
awesome.
that?
It's a nice setup. What's up,
See, isn't
PVD?
this cool?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
We have so
Thank
much
you.
to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, so as I was saying, sort of in my intro, a lot of people know you as John Hope,
Yeah.
the artist,
Right.
the rapper and lyricist.
Yep.
You have, like I said, a lot of local acclaim.
Yeah.
But you've broken through on a national level. You've toured the country. You've shared stages with people like Wiz Khalifa. You've done South by Southwest. You've got write-ups on Billboard.com. I mean, So
I've been blessed.
talk to us a little bit about that journey before we kind of get into this other side of you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a long time. I worked very diligently to kind of get my name out there, and it's at a point now where I'm really proud to be still relevant. Because hip hop it's a very young.
Ever-evolving.
Ever-evolving genre. And, right now, in terms of New England as a region, there are a lot of artists and there's a lot of, activity going on around the hip-hop community. And I'm just glad to be one of those people that was able to see it through and see now it's, flourishing. Because before, essentially, I was one of a handful of people to kind of break through. And now it's not so common for someone from Providence to go out and perform nationwide, and you know what I mean. So it's
really
a gratifying feeling. Handful,
so far.
Yeah. But it's growing, and people are more. They're very proud to represent where they're from. When I started out, it really wasn't cool to say you were from Providence. It was like, no, I'm from New York. I'm from Cali.
No one wants to rep an area that no one knows anything about.
Exactly.
One of those things where it's like, it's a small place.
Yeah.
No one knows anything about it. No one knows if it's cool or not.
Especially through a hip hop lens, you know what I mean. So, but I was very, they say fortune favors the brave. So I was very brave to, so to speak, to represent where I come from and not really sway towards whatever the trends were.
Right. And you got started really young. I mean, I think it said on your website you started writing at like 10 years old. So how did your kind of upbringing inform you as an artist? Why were you so compelled at such a young age to get into it?
Well, I had a colorful background. I was in foster care for a little bit. Single parent household. Grew up in kind of very humble beginnings, and I didn't know where to channel some of that angst and energy that I was receiving from these circumstances until I encountered hip hop. And I started recognizing that, wow, this person's going through the same thing I am, or talking the same language I am, because, growing up when I was that young, I didn't, it was, hip hop was taboo. People thought it was a fad. People didn't really understand it because it came from this community. So, for me, I just was very inquisitive and intellectually curious. I was always curious. So, for me, it was just about, how to channel that. And once I, fell in love with hip hop, it was, it was a rap. It was a rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Harry.
Yeah.
So he's the other guy, right?
Yes.
He's education background. You have your master's in education. You're a teacher.
Yep.
So talk to me a little bit about that journey and kind of how you are going to meld these two sides of who you are.
Yeah. So again, I have all these different affinities and interests, and one of them is education. I really feel that that's one of the major tools for people to kind of socially ascend and get out of their circumstance.
Right.
And I don't really approach education in a conventional way, you know what I mean? I don't really posture like, even though I have my master's, I don't posture like I'm, Master, Harry Grimsby. You know what I mean? I'm very relatable and approachable. Yeah. And so I took it upon myself to, find different ways to engage students, you know what I mean? And right now, the theme of this conversation is hip hop, and it seems to be the dominant pop culture force, and so no longer is it just something that's in the hood. Everybody identifies with it. And so I use my love for hip hop as a catalyst to educate and talk about certain things that people otherwise wouldn't be able to see.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it was cool what you said about education being sort of that window to break you out of whatever situation you're in, because I think that a lot of kids maybe feel like, well, I'll be a hip hop artist and that'll break me out. And you're saying there's more options than that. Like I'm gonna do this kind of crazy, almost unattainable thing. Yeah. It's like, no, you can actually get an education and you can make you can make something of yourself.
Absolutely.
Through that direction. Or you could do both, like you.
And you can do both. Yeah. I mean, even now, the way the landscape is as a creative, I mean, one of the reasons why I'm kind of like intersecting the two is because now we are, it's all about brand extension. It's like you're not doing just one thing, you know what I mean?
No,
like, and we've had conversations.
I have 5 jobs.
Yeah, so seriously, I'm with you, same here. So, and I think that it just goes in line. And once I figured that out, I was like, okay, what are my strengths? Let me leverage my strengths and my interests. And, 2 of them are hip hop and education, and so amongst many other things. Right. And so I think nowadays it's all about fusing. I mean, and I study a lot when I look at, for instance, like 50 Cent. 50 Cent, the brand is so much more than just the artist, right? He has the vodka, he has Power, the TV show, he has the music. Same thing with Diddy. It's they're doing so many other things under this umbrella. So that's kind of like what I want to do on my little teeny level,
Yeah,
so.
But you're doing it. I mean, you're definitely doing it. Like you have your, John Hope as the artist. You're putting out content constantly. Right. We'll talk about that later. You are a published author, as I just learned. You wrote a book and you're educating. Yeah. So one of the really cool things that I wanted to talk about today was you were telling me that this fall you're going to be teaching a hip-hop course at Rhode Island College. Is this the first time Rhode Island College has ever done a course on hip-hop?
To my knowledge, it's probably one of the few, if not the first. I don't want to wear that jacket, but
I was just curious because I had never. I know. I went there for undergrad as well as for my master's for graduate school, and they didn't have that. That didn't exist. But again, it's this opportunity to engage students in a different way, and as millennials and creatives enter new spaces and new arenas, it's really all about trying to find different ways to engage and do all that good stuff. So I'm excited about it. It was interesting because when we talked about it, I was like, oh, this is going to be sort of like a history of music class. We're going to talk about this artist and then that artist and this artist. And then I read the course description and I was like, oh, no.
Now this
is a whole lot deeper than that. This is sort of like the social impact of hip hop as a culture and sort of how it's affecting the course of our society. It really is. I was reading the thing. It said, an introductory course utilizing hip hop as a catalyst to dissect social phenomena.
Yes.
And then my brain went.
I was like, oh, hold up.
Okay.
This ain't Rapper's Delight. You know what I'm saying? This ain't that.
So you actually studied sociology. So this is sort of like your wheelhouse.
Of course.
So talk to me a little bit about like kind of what you'll be covering, kind of the bullet points, if you will.
Well, I think for me, it's very much an introductory course. There is some of that element of the history of how hip hop kind of came about and whatnot. But for me, it's really taking, current, current news, current themes, current situations, and really examining them through a hip hop lens. And what I mean by that is, we'll break down songs and annotate songs and really try to figure out, okay, what motivated J. Cole to write this?
Right.
What was the social context? What was going on?
Like
you know what I mean?
Going on in the world at
the time,
yeah.
Right. And how did that influence, this particular record? And it gives students a chance for them to kind of make their own interpretations and also, talk about certain things like, people see the world through a different perspective,
right.
Whether it's a marginalized group, underrepresented group. So, you'll be surprised how many inequities go on in a college institution, right? That's supposed to be this, pillar of the community and stuff like that. So I just want to kind of, show what's going on, how to deal with microaggressions and, feelings of like, what it means to code switch as, an African American, and you're on a predominantly white campus, to some degree you might minimize your own presence just to make someone feel comfortable because of stereotypes and stuff like that. So we're going to break all that stuff down and have a lot of fun with hip hop,
Yeah. Well, it's cool because I think people feel like they understand hip hop because they've listened to it on the radio or they listen to their albums.
Yeah.
And and then there's the next level of people that do understand that it's a culture, that it's more than just music.
It's more than just music.
And then there's, like what you're saying, even deeper than that, is sort of the impact that it's had and how, different cultures are sort of taking to this and
there's a lot.
Like my brain's going like this.
Yeah, there's a lot, people. Yeah, but it's good, and it's gonna be something that's very easily digestible. This is my kind of first foray as an instructor. You know what I mean? So at the collegiate level, so I'm really excited. I really took a lot of time with developing the syllabus and making sure that the material was relevant. So because it's so crazy how time flies now. Like people look at Tupac and Big as this old school thing, so I have to find like very relevant like Migos and T.I. and stuff like that. But
so
it's
youngins
good.
Know what you're talking
so,
about.
Yeah. So it's cool though. But I'm excited. And I'm looking to kind of expand and
you said that it's an introductory course, so do you think that you might develop some more like deeper level
of course
into this?
And this is something that I'm not reinventing the wheel or anything like that, because this takes place in other campuses. I just want to introduce this kind of this perspective and this path to the Rhode Island College campus.
Yeah. Do you know if sign-ups have already started? Do you know do you
Um,
know any of that information? Maybe we can find out.
Not yet. But I'll be back and I'll let you know.
I can imagine there's going to be like a line down the street trying to get into this course.
I'm very optimistic.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic, and it's a good way for me to stay connected to the culture, age gracefully within the culture. So
Yeah, definitely. So you actually have some new music coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be releasing a new album called Savage Beauty.
Savage Beauty.
So tell us a little bit about what we can expect to hear, when we can kind of get a first listen.
Man, I'm really excited about this project. Savage Beauty is kind of this where I'm currently at as a musician, as a hip hop artist. It's really about the idea that we're not binary people. You know what I mean? We're not all the way good. We're not all the way bad. We're kind of this melting pot, and certain situations call for that. So it's like that inner conflict and what that looks like, And the first single is called Champagne, which is a play on words. Is CHAMPAIN.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be a very short project. It's an EP, so
cool.
and it's something for my fans. all y'all out there. So, and the new people that want to engage.
That's right. If you want to listen to his music, if you haven't, heard anything by him yet, go to johnhopemusic.com, right?
Yep.
There's a whole page of videos, music.
All that good stuff. johnhopemusic.com, JONHOPE music.com.
What, so, obviously it's a stage name. What was the inspiration?
The inspiration. Yeah. So, this is so funny. So when I was looking for a stage name, I have a little bit of an acting background. I wanted to use a name that I could use in different arenas. You know what I mean? So I looked at, I was like, all right. I look at Jamie Foxx, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt. These are names that can go in different, so. Yeah, I was just like, all right, John Hope. It's 2 syllables. It's quick. It works. So, and it just stuck. It just rung in. My person as a core. I'm very hopeful, very optimistic, positive.
Yeah, I was gonna say it also sort of plays to your message.
Yeah,
you sort of have a hopeful message, a positive message.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so
it'd be funny if you were just super gangster.
Right. Yo, gun Hope up in here, you know what I mean? That'd be crazy, yeah.
That would not work quite as well.
Not work, yeah.
But,
oh, man.
Yeah, okay. So, anyone who is enrolled at Rhode Island College this fall, the course is called It's Lit.
It's Lit, yeah.
Hip-hop, sort of
Introductory seminar,
seminar,
with
some great recommended reading or required reading. I noticed, so it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be really, really fascinating, really fun. And you don't necessarily have to be a hip hop lover to enjoy the course. I think once you take this course, it'll transform how you look at the world. I really believe that. I know that sounds kind of grandiose, but I really believe that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna take a selfie now.
Absolutely.
If I can reach.
Yeah.